Well, new Disventure episode just released. Everyone told me that was bad, horrible, the worst episode ever. I'm gonna trust them and see if the episode is bad. And I think it will actually be really horrible.
What are you doing?
Just making a post saying I like this episode. A lot of people say it was bad, but I want to say what their reaction would be when they see I like the episode. They probably think that I'm weird as hell. Hello, you but Knuckles, Totem Keeping here with another Disventure Camp reveal, in this time episode 11, Disventure Camp Season 4. The most underappreciated and underrated episode by now because everyone hated on this episode, at least people on my circle interactions hated this episode. And I'm not here to say why this episode wasn't bad and actually a good one. And I might say one of the best. Okay, I might exaggerating by this, but it was great. And also they found a certain character that was a bit hated on this episode. But before anything, like, subscribe, all those stuff that I'm kind of obligated to say on YouTube, but you know how it is, okay? So subscribe, like, and let's start this episode reveal. The episode starts with Lynda in the exile, and by the way, you better enjoy this Lynda scene because after that she won't have any other scene in this episode. That's a thing that people didn't like in this episode that I actually agree. How they want Lynda to have a development in this episode and fight for the prize and have a motive since they didn't make her have a lot of screen time. That is actually a problem and opinion on this episode that I understand, but it doesn't make the episode horrible, just makes me mad because they didn't care about Lynda so much in this episode. But at least the scene was nice of Lynda trying to make fire to prove she can do things alone. I just wish she had more screen time and we can see more of her doing those stuff. I mean, I understand they can focus just on her, but like, if they want us to sympathize more with the character or want her to win more, we could have more scenes of her. You can have like an extra scene or something, just a little, so we can have more like, oh, Lynda is trying, now is surviving, do stuff alone, than just one scene. It would be way better. After that, we have Anastasia, Logan, and Natalia celebrating about the elimination, or just saying how Logan move was a good one. I want to see more of this through. I really like the interaction, how they talk with each other and how they act. But unfortunately, I think we won't have because of something that happened in this episode. And after that, as we expected, we have another Logan and Spencer interaction that it is not bad, but I still don't know how to feel about them. I'm worried they will become a couple, but let's focus on this interaction because it's good. I'm just a bit worried. Basically, Spencer wants to know why Logan flipped, and he's also angry because now he's in danger in the game because he can be eliminated any moment now, and that he can't trust Logan anymore, and Logan was the only one he trusted, and Logan was just sad because he wanted to help Spencer. And about this whole conversation, I have to tell something. It's not bad. I like Logan and Spencer's interactions. I just don't want to like that much because I worry they can be a couple. But it's actually a good interaction and they work together as friends and allies. Logan being nice, want to help Spencer, and Spencer being, well, Spencer. I just think this will be repetitive because Logan is always in this, oh my god, who do I vote for? Do I vote with Anastasia or do I vote with Richard or Spencer? And it's kind of repetitive and I'm getting a bit tired of it, but it's okay because I think they won't focus too much on this now. I just want to see more of it and to see if they will become a couple or not, and then I can have my full opinion on them because while they are not, I'm still a bit conflicted. Now is the part that you guys will hate me, that is Richard and Natalia talking. It's good, and I think none of them are holding grudges anymore, and actually being nice to each other is good, and they have a good friendship. It's just that I don't care about Richard too much or at all, even with his speech about believe in yourself and you can do it. I don't know, it's just not for me. I don't like the character that much, and every time he talks, we have a scene or something like, whoa, Richard does stuff. For me, it's like, whatever. I don't know, something doesn't let me like the character that much. I already said this a lot, and I don't think it will change. It's just, If Richard wasn't there, if it was other characters saying this, or he was just eliminated and the scene never existed, I wouldn't mind and wouldn't change the show for me. I don't know. I like Richard, but he's like the weakest character here and like second most boring here. It's a sweet scene. I just don't care. Moving on to the protagonist of the episode, that is Anastasia. She and Spencer have a talk, finally interacting. I was waiting for this. I know I never said that, but I really wanted to see them interact, like real interact. And Anastasia can't sleep because of the thought of Lynda coming back. And her and Spencer have a strategy talk that is like, well, if you don't want Lynda to come back, you should choose someone that is capable to defeat her. That is just an excuse so he can go against her and to lose the challenge and maybe go home. And it is a good plan. I like that Spencer still have good strategies and plans. It's just hard because he suggested Logan, and of course Anastasia is not going to vote her friend. You heard that, Anastasia haters? Friend! Stop using the anti-man as opinion on her why you hate her. She doesn't hate men anymore. Okay? Good. Let's move on to the episode again. Even though it was just interaction about Spencer manipulating Anastasia and she really not liking it, I think was really good, and I like them interacting. I want to see more of them interacting. It was really good. Then we finally see what's happening in the red scene, and the first thing we saw is Zayt and Ivy being, a couple, enjoying being a couple, and Ivy's worried because they might saw by some people, but Zayt said no, they were in the beach, so we have 15 minutes alone. And then 15 minutes? That's a lot of time. Normally it's just 3 they need. But of course, good stuff can happen and someone appears.
Are you two leaving room for Jesus?
Of all people, it had to be the nun appearing in this moment. Come on. But in a non-suspicious way, Ivy managed to make Zayt leave and give Isabelle an excuse that, of course, she doesn't buy it because it's so obvious what they're doing, or better saying, almost doing. But at least we have an interaction between Ivy and Isabelle that is actually really nice and sweet, and I care about both characters, so it wasn't boring to me. And it's nice to learn more about Isabelle's past and her helping Ivy to still date Zayt and be with him and not hiding. The only problem is that she was just doing this to manipulate Ivy so they can be more public, Zayt and Ivy as a couple, so they can have more chance to be eliminated because they are a couple. And that's the problem of Isabelle here. Some people are mad because Isabelle is making those moves in the game, and she's actually being categorized now as a villain, and I need to see what I think about this. I don't consider her a villain. She's just making moves in the game. I understand that religious people have their problems with Isabelle, but being mad because she's doing this is, for me, in my opinion, a bit stupid. People aren't perfect. It doesn't matter if she's a nun or she's religious or something. People make mistakes, and what she's doing is not that bad. She's in a game to win $1 million. If you're mad at her or think she's an evil person because she's doing those stuff, you're exaggerating a lot. Just keep in mind that who's saying those stuff is a person that don't study religious stuff, so I'm not a specialist in these things. I'm just telling my opinion that I'm probably wrong, but just saying, I'm not doing this, it doesn't matter, and in my opinion, Isabelle needs so many things that aren't approved by nuns that she shouldn't have been one. I mean, you can be a religious person and just believe in God, in my opinion. And she's not doing something wrong. She's not committing a crime, so I don't care. People hating her because of it. For me, it's a bit exaggeration. I understand people that say she's become a J 2.0, but for me, it's also a big no because she has way more personality and way more stuff in her backstory than Jade. It made her way more enjoyable than Jade. So yeah, I think Isabelle is one of the best here, and hating her just because of her religion, in my opinion, is an exaggeration. Now that I've done my speech that is probably gonna get me cancelled, let's move on to the rest of the episode. Jade and Isabelle actually had that plan to make Zay and Ivy still together so they can vote one of them out, and they want to talk to Hannah about it. But of course, it's not that simple because Hannah doesn't trust them enough because Jade has that problem with Benji because Benji knows she's doing stuff. And it's unbelievable that Benji is the only one who saw in this. It's so obvious she's still working with Spencer. And I think this might become a problem because probably Hannah will join Benji, Zay, and Ivy to vote off Jade. And I don't know what's going to happen, but if I have to guess, or Hannah and Benji will have a decision like, are we still work with Jade and Isabelle, or we work with Ivy and Zayd? And this will decide who will be eliminated, Zayd or Jade. I don't think Isabelle or Ivy will be eliminated because they still have stuff to do. So it's one of them. Jade or Zayd will be eliminated if the red team loses the next challenge. And finally, challenge for that, Anastasia have a whole thing explaining the Lynda situation, and if they lose, they need to vote someone who's strong enough to eliminate Lynda. And here's the thing that a lot of people, okay, 3 people say that Anastasia was wrong and bad in this episode.
Anastasia, if this is your worry, why not throw today's challenge?
Извини?
Just follow me here. You're asking us to take a risk for your benefit. But if you want Lynda to stay gone, well, why not do it yourself?
Yeah, what Hannah said made sense, and a lot of people were angry because of how Anastasia reacted and how she treated Hannah in the challenge. But let's all agree, we all would do the same. No one would risk themselves in the chance of being eliminated to eliminate someone you don't like. It's better someone try for you, and if the person don't lose, you can try another time, okay? Yeah, it makes sense what Hannah did, but yeah, you know, Anastasia exaggerated a lot, so I'm not surprised about it. It was not something that bad. She just made a look. Why everyone's exaggerating? It's not like she punched Hannah in the face. If she did, it would be fun. Nothing too important happens in the challenge, but some little things I want to talk about. That is Jade and Spencer still working together, and Jade making fun of Spencer's accent. And we also saw Spencer being the worst actor in the whole world.
And the Oscar goes to
Spencer Lawrence.
Oh, dang it. Thank you.
And we also have Ivy in her crazy challenge mode that was the most hilarious part in the whole challenge.
Ow! Hey, no biting!
That is how we do it back home.
In Hollywood?
Glendale, bitch!
That's my girl. That was hilarious and good, even though she lost the challenge.
Damn it.
But alright, back to the important stuff. Spencer and Anastasia discussing about the whole challenge with Lynda, who's gonna go against her. And Spencer makes this whole villain thing and manipulating Anastasia to make her go against Lynda. Spencer's the only one here that is almost a villain. He just isn't like Fiore and Rhea. No, he still had some good parts, but the most part he's basically the only villain here. And why I'm saying that? Well, because the red team won and the blue team lost. I think it was really obvious. And remember last video I said there was a theory that Anastasia would eliminate herself to go against Lynda, and I said it was stupid, it wouldn't make sense because Anastasia wouldn't make a dumb move like that. Well, I was wrong, she did that. And of course, before that we have a little twist. They can choose a helper, but for the opponent. And Lynda chooses Spencer to help Anastasia, and Anastasia chooses Natalia to help Lynda. That makes sense because none of them want to help the opposing member of the alliance. But another twist, if Natalia or Spencer win, they will have immunity for the next challenge. So, you know, if they lost the next challenge, they have immunity. And this is the motivation. And I like this twist. It was good and made more sense. It made the scene more like, oh my god, now they will try hard because they have immunity on the way. It's a tug of war and it's really hard and tough, and actually, you know, you get nervous while watching. But then they start to try to deactivate the helpers, and the way they do this is the most stupid way possible.
How can Natalia pretend the prize is a date with James Costa? Spencer, please! Wouldn't you want to get rid of the person who eliminated the Colombian boy?
Both motivations were terrible. Like Natalia winning because she imagined the prize, a date with James. It's stupid. It's just a joke. That if it was total drama, I would understand. But it's literally camp. This thing is serious. She tried hard because of this. Understand the date with James, but come on. And this Spencer motivation is not that bad compared to Natalia's one. But it doesn't make sense because he was the one who eliminated Diego. I just think he maybe put him on Anastasia's place. That's why he helped in the last minute. I don't know. Both motivations were bad. Mr. One wasn't the worst, and I want to see more of him and Anastasia interacting because they looks like they are in good terms after that. So let's see what happened. I don't think it was that bad. Yes, it was a bit of plot armor, but the plot armor in Spencer is not terrible because the character is good and still in the game. And he's not abusing of the plot armor like some characters. If he starts winning a lot of plot armor now, then I'm gonna start to get a bit irritated because now it's okay. It's not, oh, whatever. Now it's okay. If he wins more plot armor things, I think it's gonna get a bit, annoying. But for me, still not annoying. Anyway, Anastasia wins the challenge, and Lynda is sad because she was eliminated, and she's worried about what her sons will think of her, and the whole thing because, she doesn't believe she's good enough, and it's sad. I didn't want to see Lynda go this way, because it seems like last episode twist didn't serve for nothing. But at least we saw a little bit of her, and I think, I'm betting here that she probably will come back. She'll be the returner of the season. I know we have Ted and more, I think 2 eliminations before the comeback challenge, but I think she has a lot of chance. I think she will go back. And if I add to that again, I would think the helper of Lynda will be Anastasia. That would be really fun to see. And the best part? Lynda is not mad at anyone, and she actually says she respects Anastasia and admires her game or something like that. And even though Anastasia would never admit that, I think she will miss Lynda a bit. Just a little bit. But before the episode ends, we see Anastasia mad at Natalia because she didn't help at all, and she might have to hold a grudge. Of course, she hold a grudge. What I'm talking about is Anastasia. But I really hope they solve this fast and without a lot of trouble, because I don't want Anastasia and Natalia arguing or being enemies, because I love their friendship. It was really good. And well, that was the episode, and this was anything but bad or horrible or any adjective that is bad. The interactions were great, the challenge was good. Okay, it got a bit boring in some moments, but still good. And the elimination, even though it wasn't necessary, it wasn't that bad, and it was sad. And I actually really happy that Anastasia stayed in the game, because I really didn't want to see her going home. Yes, it had bad things, but none Disventure Camp episode is perfect. All the episodes have problems, and the only problems here were that Lynda didn't have enough screen time. Yes, Anastasia rage was a bit too much sometimes, and yes, Natalia and Spencer's motivation to win the challenge of the tiebreaker were stupid. Especially Natalia one. Like, really? A date with James? That is the motivation that she needs to win a challenge? And yeah, some characters didn't have enough screen time too, like Benji, that basically had 2 lines and it was forgot who was in this episode, or Jade that didn't do enough, just had some interaction with Spencer and Isabelle and then did nothing. And even characters that do stuff weren't like, oh my god, they are so memorable in this episode, like Zayd or Logan and Richard. Okay, Richard just for me. But I think the only memorable character from the red team was Ivy and Isabelle, because the rest was just there, But it's still good. I like the episode. And now that Lynda's eliminated, let's do the prediction for the next episode of who I think is going to be eliminated. That I'm probably wrong, because I'm always wrong in this stuff. And looking at the red team, if they lose, is definitely or Ivy or Zaid or Jade. I don't think it's Ivy because she has a lot to do here. She has the winner vibe, you know what I mean? She looks like she can go to the finals or even win this. But Zaid and Jade, I don't see they doing enough, you know? Zaid now is just Ivy's boyfriend and that's it. Even though he has the motivation to win because he wants to help his sister and mother, is not enough to win, you know? He doesn't seem like the winner type and he's not that interesting to win. And Jade might have a problem because Hannah and Benji don't trust her and they might not want to backstab Ivy or Zayd to keep them in the game. But in a writing way, you know, in a writing vision, I think Jade is going to stay in the game and Zayd will be eliminated because Ivy seems to understand that Jade is good at the game at the challenge phase. So maybe if Isabelle and Jade are good enough to manipulate her, she might even vote out for Jade or just for someone that isn't Jade or Isabelle or Zayd, you know. And in the blue team, well, Anastasia is in good terms with Spencer apparently, and Spencer in good terms with Anastasia, he can be in good terms with Logan. It means that Logan, Spencer, and Anastasia can vote together, which means if Anastasia doesn't fix stuff with Natalia, she might go home. But if she solved things up with Natalia, then Richard's eliminated. And if this happens, it's going to be great because I don't care about Richard, so he can go home and I don't care. And well, that's it what I have to say about the episode. It wasn't bad, it was actually really good. Not the best one, but I think people are just mad because of Lynda's elimination, or they just don't like Anastasia and Spencer and they got a lot of screen time, so that's why people didn't like it. Some people, I mean. But still, I love this episode. It's really good, but not one of the best. I would give, I don't know, a 7 or something like that. But I think Disventure Camp still in this great episode stuff, you know. Since episode 5 we didn't have a since episode 7 we didn't have a really bad episode, so still great. And I see you guys in the next video. Then I'm gonna start post a bit random now. Only the Disventure Camp review is gonna be like after the week episodes release, but normal videos like this one, it's gonna be a bit random now because some stuff. Okay, goodbye, like, subscribe, and stuff, and goodbye.